Let me tell you a bit about then the lessons learned when we talk about price sensitivity and how we want to, and what we've come across when we were implementing. And I think we started off with an exercise about determining the drivers for products. The interesting part is that with the workshops we have done, it's extremely important to have the right stakeholders at the table because sales and marketing most of the time have a completely different perspective on what's driving the price, or finance or the CEO. So making sure that everybody, all the right stakeholders are there to tell them and to go through and to have this exercise on what should be a price driver and also the weighing. So all together determine at the end. So what should be the weighing of, let's say, brand or quality of the product or etc. And determining that together makes it, first of all, for the implementation, a lot easier for everybody to accept the outcome of the sensitivity model because everybody has been involved and everybody has been able to do his or her say and is taken into consideration. And also, you get a broader perspective on how the company perceives your product. And that's also a very interesting exercise actually to do because you will see, because with all the companies so far we have seen it, it's completely different in what people perceive as the main drivers for the price. Then the second one is, as Arjan already explained before, you need to have the proper tools and mindset to evaluate those performance because it's not just a one-off exercise. It's something you want to re-evaluate over a specific period of time. So you can create the model, but maybe the weights over time do differ and do change. You need to be able and capable to analyze these. You need to be able to also understand, if I change my price, what's actually going to be the impact. So most companies don't have proper analysis reporting in place to measure these things. So it's Power BI or Tableau or even in Excel, you can make rather easily reports on top of that to measure the price changes. And that's a mindset that needs to be there, that it's okay as long as you do it with small steps. That's the next point. But as long as you do it with small steps, you can oversee the impact of it. It's okay to look into what is now the right price point. So it's okay to do those experiments and it's okay to fail an experiment as well. Because if you fail the experiment, you learn from it. You understand that you priced too high or that you priced too low. But in order to do that, you need to have the proper tools and mindset, and you need to have the learning loops in place. So also start small, as I just said. Don't go with your full product portfolio in there. Start with a specific brand. Start with a specific order part to go through that. And then also you need to make sure that there are some proper guardrails in place. So we want to make sure that by means of elasticity and by means of sensitivity, it are still mathematical approaches, right? And we take into account, of course, the expertise of the local area, but also from your salespeople. But still, it's a mathematical approach, and it's looking at historical data. So in order to make sure that it's not doing very wild things, you want to make sure that you cap it at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10%, depending on what you feel comfortable with, to make sure it's always within a bandwidth where it's operating. And also on the last part, which is a very important one, is that there should be executive level buy-in. Because we're talking about price sensitivity in this case, which is a very innovative way of dealing with your pricing. And that means that people need to be able to understand that, and that also needs to be fostered by the executive level, because you need to have that drive through buy-in in order for everybody to get on board, because it's new, it is change, things will change within the company. So you need executive level buy-in in order to get this through to everybody and make sure it's company-wide led.